What up? What's going on, beautiful people? So you want to know how to accomplish more by doing less using the Pareto principle, aka the 80-20 rule. So, it's two ways that the 80-20 rule can help you, but before we go into that, we have to understand one thing. There's a huge difference between being busy and being productive. Huge difference. So, what is the 80-20 rule? Where did it come from? So there was an Italian economist. He was a scientist. The guy did a lot, but his name was Vilfredo Pareto. And while he was gardening, he realized that 80% of the peas in the garden was being produced by only 20% of the pea plants or pods in the garden. But then he took it a step further. He realized that 80% of Italy's land at the time was owned by about 20% of the people. But it's fascinating because the 80-20 rule, it shows up in every activity in our everyday lives. It shows up with everything that we do. For instance, us as people, you listening to this video, out of all of the clothes you have, you wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Am I right? If you're in sales, 80% of your sales is going to come from 20% of your products. If you have a business, a sales team, 80% of the income is going to be produced by 20% of the team. If you want to make money in sales, 80% of your income is going to be caused by 20% of the activity you do. So, the two ways this can help you is this. One, it helps you weed out the 80% that you don't need to focus on. Now, I'm not saying that the other 80% is important, but if you want the bigger result, the larger cause, you're going to focus on the smaller percent. And understand that the 80-20 rule is not a law. It's a ratio of numbers. And the reason I say it's not a law is because sometimes it might be 65-35. Sometimes it might be 90-10. Sometimes it might be 70-30, but the understanding is that the smaller part of everything you do, or the bigger part, is going to be caused by the small efforts that you do consistently. So, another way that this can help is this. It helps with frustration. See, you could be doing so much. You can get frustrated like, man, I'm doing all of this stuff. But then you have to understand that all of the stuff, it doesn't even matter. It's the 20%, that you need to focus on. So if you got a team, understand that a small percentage of them will do anything. So let's say you're a small business owner, you have products and services. You could spend all day rearranging your Rolodex, doing presentations, making up comp plans. You can perfect your presentation. You can do all of these things. But if you want to make money, what you have to do is focus on the small percentage of income activities you have to do. Setting appointments, making calls, showing your product, service, or the deal, and of course, following up with people. So all the other stuff, yeah, it helps. But if you want to make money, that's the smaller portion. I come to even find out this is, with relationships and everything. See, it's a lot of people out here, you want to look for the perfect person, right? You want to look for the perfect person, but understand that the 80-20 rule comes into effect there. You're not gonna find a 100% perfect person. They might be 80%, 90%. And the crazy part is, a lot of people, they mess up because they focus on the larger percent that's not going to be productive, or in a relationship, they focus on the smaller portion that they're not getting. So you miss out on the 80% of the good because you don't understand the principle. Here's the deal. If you still kind of confused and you really don't know what you should be doing, you feeling stuck, take the 80-20 rule into consideration. And to make it easier on yourself, you really could ask yourself 3 questions. What am I doing? What works and what doesn't work? And then you just double down on what works. Right before the new year, 2020, I can't think of anything better than progressing. Let's progress. T and no, what's an objection? Let's go.